Hello friends, today I want to make a gift for my neighbors, and sometimes you guys, some people you don't know what to get them and that kind of thing, so um you want to start making things up in November. So I was thinking, okay, I have this pattern from an old Batman craft for kids craft, so I'm gonna make a Batman pattern decor piece for a wreath. And it'll be kind of maybe off a bit, but I'm going to try to get it just right. I might have to play around with my design that I've had before here a little bit in the folding here, because the ears of the bat are not quite, I don't think they're quite separated enough. But this was a birthday craft idea for a boy's birthday, and it was Batman, and I needed to use them. It needed to wrap around the toilet paper roll. So now I have about what I want. So I'm using this. You guys can do whatever super hero, super villain, that kind of thing. People that like. It could be any character. It could be the minions. Your children will love that. So now I gotta go look at him to see what the bottom looks like, because I'm not sure if it's just the bottom like that. But okay, so I've got the gist of it, and we're gonna work with that. So it's kind of the Batman symbol. On grabbing the piece that I have, I realized, of course, there was a tail missing here. So this being the birthday party favor type of thing that we had for the crafts for the kids, I just gotta add a tail. And kind of try to get it in the center. And I will, of course, probably add better. It won't be exact. But I want to do kind of, well, I do want to do better Batman symbol. So it's kind of getting there. So that's about what I want. So what I'm going to do is I want to make this for my neighbors, my new neighbors, and I want to make it into a wreath for them, and I think their kids are going to love it, and I think that that's their particular superhero that they like, they enjoy as a family. So that's what I'm going to do, is give it to them for their door. And I'm just kind of playing with it here, seeing what it looks dark and that kind of thing. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to plaster this gesso with black, probably put, now this is the part where I'm kind of like, okay, I'm pulling out my wreaths, I have a few, and I'm looking at them and I'm saying, is this the type, is this the size, the correct size that I want for them? Because I can go smaller with my Batman before I even, begin, type of thing. So I'm thinking, see, the wreath got a little cracked here, but I'm thinking if he goes down here, he'd be okay. I'm going to probably put the camera a little higher and try not to wiggle it too much for you guys. See if I can get away with doing that. There we go. Got the cord falling down here. I have such a great setup. Okay, so this is one wreath. I could exchange it if I don't like this one here. I don't know, it's got cracked a little bit, but I could put it on here like this. I have, imagine him being black. I have Halloween tubing from the dollar store, which is really cool for decor and all that kind of stuff. Well, I didn't buy the orange, but I did buy the black, and now you know, I'm thinking, what can I do with this? You can do so many different things, make so many costumes with this. And now I think I'm going to use it on this wreath for this Batman wreath, Christmas wreath. I don't want to make it too scary or dark or anything, but I do want to have a Batman look to it, feel. I don't want it to be just, it can be festive and still be Batman, so I'm sure I could do it. I'm sure I could pull it off. So I think this Batman is the perfect size for him. I don't think I have to trim him down at all. And that was another thing why I was, you know, you want to check your wreath to see if you need to trim anything down. So it looks like it'll be perfect. So the next part now would be to just put the plaster on him. And like anything else that we've done with plaster, the same type of process where you're covering it a couple times. With this being a different shape than just the easier shapes I've done before, you'll be using your fingers to get around with the plaster, but it'll be fun. It will. And you have your water ready, yeah, get it going. These particular pieces, I want to make them a little bit smaller, not as big as before, because I want to be able to fit them around the shape better. And again, I'll probably only do a couple layers, but I do need them to be sizes that I can handle for my little tips and stuff like that, so they don't lose the shape too much and can't go all funny on me. I would recommend to do, if you're going to do smaller ornaments that are symbols or anything like that, you can do like a smaller size for the tree, and that would look nice too. So I've done the dolls and the little strips, so, but to do something a little bit more supernatural or superhero or comic kind of an idea, to pull something that is your favorite hero, I thought I would show you this because it's always nice to give gifts out, and it's an easy thing to do. You can also buy wreaths at the dollar store. They don't have to be a larger wreath. These ones I believe are from Michael or yard sales and that kind of thing, that I get them a lot too. And just whenever you see them, you can pick them up, because you can put anything on them. You can throw rubber duckies for a baby shower on them. You can do so much with wreaths, and you can recycle them because you can take the pieces off and redo them. Do the same thing I have done before, and that is wetting my strips in a little bit of water and putting them on to my piece. Your kids are going to love it, having a wreath that is, you know, somebody they watch or they like. And this is my water container, nice and big. That's why I like to get these from the dollar store. They're a couple dollars, and they are nice for paintbrushes, and they are nice to stick my hand in there and do what I need to do. See? So I got 3 of them right now, and I pick them up every once in a while from the dollar store. And you can use them to store things in as well, and then when you do need them for group painting, they're nice to have. Easy to wash, throw in the dishwasher, and they don't need to come totally clean, so you don't even have to throw them in the dishwasher if you don't want to. You can just rinse them out and leave the splashes on there. I got some splash marks on mine. It has some character. It doesn't really matter, but at the same time, you can clean them up perfectly, so they're nice and easy to do that with. So I'm just going over, I'm leaving it go over the edge, which is going to have something to grab onto the other side, which is nice. You want to get your edges covered as well, and you want to make sure you pull it right to the tips, because you want your tips to have, this one doesn't quite have it all the way, but the next layer will. You want to make sure you have your tips covered for any pointed pieces that you do have. So I would put my corner up in there like that and just straighten it out. It doesn't dry too quickly, so you have time to move it. And even if it did dry a bit, you can wet your fingers and smooth it out or do whatever you like. So this stuff is really good. You can get this stuff at Michael's, this plaster. Any art supply store too. This is particular one was picked up at a bulk art supply store because it's for like doing classes with large amount of children. But you can order them online, see, like that in bulk too. So, and if I have it quite pointed on this end because the way I did it, but that's okay because I could trim anything off later on. I don't need to worry about, I can sand it down, trim it off, whatever, if it's too crazy for me, for my liking after. What I want to do is make sure I get my points. So you can do the Justice League on a wreath too. That'd be really nice. You can have like Wonder Woman, Flash, what is it, Green Lantern? Forget his name. And Batman, Superman. And what? I think there's Shazam. Is that the ones? I can't remember them all. Trying to think. And then there is also that football player, which I can't remember who he is. Oh, I can't remember. You guys are probably thinking, what is going on with her? I like my comic books. So this one's going to wrap around a bit, but that's okay. So make sure you get that point, and you can fix it all up after. And my main goal is to get everything just right. You want a nice job of it, and you want it to be nice and sturdy. So if the wreath happens to fall, you know, you don't want a flimsy ornament on there. And I'm just going to put a piece right here. And it's going to fold over. You can also have it hanging in the middle, just kind of hanging on the center of the wreath, and then you have both sides showing, one side through a window if you have window and a door, or not. So you can make it any way you like. This is Batman symbol. It's upside down right now. I'm drying it up. Got both sides done, so I just got to dry it up a bit. I am going to dry it with the heat tool for a bit, and then work it a bit, and then, you know, see pieces missing here and there. I want to make sure I get it all really good. And I was fixing, I added to my tips there, the ones that I missed, and yeah, just want to keep making sure that I have enough of this everywhere. So I'm going to put squares in where I think I need it thicker and that kind of thing. Wet my finger and just kind of smooth things out. And that is what I'm doing right now. So that's why you need some squares, smaller squares. You can even go smaller pieces depending on what you're doing, and just add to it. So this is going to be the back side, and on the other side I have a touch smoother, and that'll be my front side, just like that. So now I'm just going to dry them up and work on that. And this is how it's come out. This is about 3 layers, and it's good. I think it's good. I'm going to do black gesso on it. It's a little, I dried it for quite a while, and it's still, you can see the discoloration. It's still a little on the damp side. But it's really hard. So it's really coming along really nicely. So you can do this. You can even just hang it up as a Christmas ornament on a huge tree. This one's huge. You would do a smaller version of this for a Christmas ornament, I think. And you can do tons of little different superheroes emblems all over the tree for your child, and I think they would like that. Also, if you do a larger one like this and you want just one large one as a Christmas embellishment or whatever, ornament or whatever, you could put a small child's handprints on them or a footprint on them for remembering the year and whatnot of this particular time that you made this. So just thought a few little ideas out there. You can do tons of stuff with plaster and cardboard and just shape it up to whatever you want. And yeah, here we are, friends, with our piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put black gesso on it. And I'm putting this behind it because it's cooling off as I was heating it, and I just want the moisture, if there's any moisture coming off, I want it to just be on the paper towel. And I'm just going to go in here and gesso, black gesso on here. I'm going to take my time too with it, so I'm not going to rush through it. I'll let it dry. Once, you know, I'm usually more rushed with things, but I am still like heat tooling and that kind of thing, but I'm not going to rush it. So there's quite a bit of texture on here and I'm not worried about it. So I'm going to leave that. Yeah, I like the texture. So, and I kind of have an idea in my head how I want the wreath, so it's not going to be overpowering and too black or anything. So I'm going to have the nice woody wreath, the Batman kind of to the one side, and then some of that cord that looks like tubing, black tubing, and probably a ribbon or something. And I would like to get some yellow in there too, so we'll see about that. And then I'm not going to make it too dark, too like Halloween or anything like that. I want it to be for Christmas, so I want it to be able to go in well with everything else and not be too dark or too out there, yet being really unique, but not being too crazy or out of place kind of a thing. So that's the goal, to do it that way. So like I was saying earlier, you can buy smaller wreaths. These ones are larger that you usually buy at the hobby craft store. The smaller wreaths you can pick up at the dollar store, and you'll have to have a smaller size Batman, and you could do maybe many wreaths on a door of different characters or whatever. So it's always good. Always good. And smaller wreaths are nice because you could also put them in the house and not have an out of place humongous wreath. So you can have a few on the wall, just making it look really nice. So that is that. Looking cool. So I am sitting here thinking this is going to be great, and then I realize, how am I going to hook this thing up to the thing? You can't possibly hot glue this to the wreath. So it's a good thing I was thinking of that before I painted the back side, because now I have to make a way for this to be able to be wired to the wreath. So what I'm going to do is make some loops to put my wire or string on. So I'm using the jumbo paper clips, and they're very strong. I could have put holes through it and then twisted wire around it, but I'm kind of thinking that I would like this idea, because then I can put it, say I want to have it this way, and I'm going to put one this way. And if I want to trade it out, change it out, I could put this, hang it up or put it on something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them side by side like this, and then I'm going to put some plaster on the back of that, and then dry them up, and have that as my way to attach it to the, you can also use just like wire and all that kind of stuff, but I decided to use paper clips. It's much stronger, and I'm going to push it down. Just gonna wet my finger, push it down, and it'll start adhering itself to the plaster, folding in half, so the back will have a little bit more plaster added to it. But that's the thing, if you don't put anything on it, you can still work it. There's still time to fix any faux pas kind of a thing. So I got 2 layers on this side. I went over a couple of little spots. You can see them on the edges here, maybe a little white. So I'm going to flip them over now and do the back side. See if this is totally dry. I gotta get my edges and stuff up really well too. And then we're gonna go and shimmer them up a bit, make them look like a fancy Batman, just a little bit, you know, give him some shimmer. And so he's not so flat black. And I think that'll be good. Yeah, the back here is got the loops that I put in there with the giant paper clips, and they are working great. They're strong in there. I made sure I put them in quite strong, and leaving the whole paper clip on there, so then I have more of it holding with the strips on there behind there, so it's really anchored in there and not gonna tear off, blow off, or anything like that. So it's good. So I'm going to do 2 layers on both sides. So I'm doing 2 layers on this side as well as the front side, and making sure I just go over my edges really good, because that's where you're going to miss some if you're going to miss some, for sure. There's a lot of texture on here. Plasters like that. So if you like that, you don't mind that look, you know, if you don't like that look, I'm not sure what you're going to do. You might have to make it out of polymer clay or something. That'd be a big project to bake. So I'm not sure. But the plaster is perfect for any kind of cardboard design that's not too, you know, it's fairly flat. You can do whatever shape you want. And I love it. You can have a few of these at a craft sale. I'm sure they'll go for wreaths. And you just don't go too crazy with the wreath. You just leave it, you know, really cool and kind of on the low key side. I think it'll be really popular. There we go. Just gonna check to make sure I got all the angles of my white on the edges of coverage. You want to look really professional. So that's about it. I'm going to dry this up. The next part here, I'm going to put my metallic lusters from DecoArts. It's the black shimmer. I'm going to put that on my Batmans just to get it on the texture and make it look metallic or whatnot. Look, it comes through. I'm going to go with that. So it's not a flat, boring Batman, but it's an exciting piece. And so I'm going to do that, and look how it's coming along. Coming along really nice. It's just right on the gesso too. I got right strict on the gesso, black gesso. And very beautiful. Doesn't that look pretty? That looks pretty. Does Batman look pretty or what? I think he looks pretty. Okay. We're gonna let that dry a bit, and then I'm gonna take a bit of a piece. I'm tearing from my paper towel roll here, and I'm gonna go over that and buff it up and make it really nice. Like it's gonna look like a piece of wonderful old metal, really cast iron piece. A quick show of the emblem, looking totally awesome. And this is the back. And great. So now what we have to accomplish is balancing it out. I have this black stuff. I have a gold trim. I'm not sure how much I have really. And I'm going to have to make a bow with this with my bow jig here. And I may not have too much. Ooh, this is not good. I might even not be able to make a proper bow. Might have to just kind of fashion something up to make it look like a bow, like a faux bow. We will have to see because I don't have enough gold here, but we're going to have to fashion up something to balance it out and make a decent wreath with it. So I kind of just did the wrappy round thing with this decoration thingamajiggy from Halloween, a dollar store I bought, and it looks like, well, you know, it could be cord from Batman's tool belt or whatever. It's not too girly, and I'm like, this was just too much, I think, even though the yellow would have been, you know, I wanted the yellow in there, and I think this was perfect. We could add some ornaments or whatever, I don't know. So what I'm going to do is trying to figure out the perfect placement of this guy. And yeah, so I'm going to have this kind of here, and I want this kind of here. Do I want, you know, and kind of find the perfect placement for that. Just like that. And wire it in. And then I think we are pretty much done for this. You don't want to go too frou-frou for Batman. He's really, out of all superheroes, gotta be the most macho superhero out there, right? So I think that's it, guys. So I hope you liked this project and give it a try, and don't forget to craft like a duck. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.